Hi, welcome to the Eazy Vegan. My name is Angela, and this morning I'm going to make apple cinnamon breakfast granola. It is Sunday morning, and I'm going to be making food for the week. So I'm going to start off with the breakfast, and I like this one because it's relatively simple with the ingredients that I usually tend to have around the house. I don't need to remember to go out and buy anything so much the day before. So you're going to need some rolled oats. Again, rolled oats are different from the quick oats, which are different from minute oats. Okay, the rolled oats, you can tell they're a different texture. They're much fatter. They're more whole. Whereas if you look at the rapid oats, they're usually in smaller pieces and they're much thinner. So we're going to use 3 cups of this. So I've got 2 in here, and I'm going to be mixing all my dry ingredients in first, and then we're going to put in the wet stuff in. Okay, so that's 3 of that. Now we're going to put in some shredded coconut for some texture. And when you use the shredded coconut, go for the unsweetened, not the sweetened. We're going to be adding in our sugar in after, and I don't need any extra sugar. So the coconut, we're going to do 1/2 cup. This is totally one of those recipes that after you make it, you can say, you know what, I actually like more coconut than Angela does, so I'm going to put in a whole cup. It's granola is very easy because it's whatever you have, you can probably make it work. So 1/2 cup of that. We're going to do a cup of almonds for our nuts. Now I'm using almonds today because I have almonds. Yesterday Jason did the walnut recipe, and I don't have walnuts anymore, but I usually like walnuts. If you don't have walnuts, you can use pecans or you can use almonds. The thing with the walnuts, the almonds that we use, I buy them whole almonds, but I find sometimes I use the recipe with the whole almonds, but I find when I'm eating granola in the morning, it's too much to be crunching on, so I put it in the Vitamix and I kind of crunch them up so they're in smaller pieces. So now I measured 1/2 cup of whole ones. Now let's see how much crunch, if it's about the same, or I don't understand math. It's a little bit more than 1/2 cup. I'm just going to put it all in. Again, it doesn't matter if you like almonds or if you want to have a lot more nuts in there. You can go for the whole thing. Oops. Okay, so that's 1/2 cup of coconut, 1/2 cup of almonds. And now I'm going to put in some salt. I'm just going to do 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And now we're going to put in 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, because we're making apple cinnamon today. Okay, oh, of course you need to preheat your oven to 350, so I turned that on earlier, but you should turn it on when you begin to. So I'm just going to stir that all up. Now we're going to put in our wet ingredients, and that is going to be the oil, which is what makes granola, not muesli. So we're going to do, again, 1/2 cup. I like this recipe because I only have to use 1 measuring cup, kind of. Now, I'm using safflower oil. If you want to use olive oil, coconut oil, walnut oil, whatever you want, that's cool too. I like using the safflower oil because it doesn't have a very strong taste the way olive oil does, but if you like olive oil, you can go for it. This is our maple, it's a 1/2 gallon maple syrup that we get at the St. Lawrence Market. I like getting my maple syrup there because the guy who sells it is the one who produces it, and he's got like 5 different grades. So if you like it, heavier, you can get the syrup that's collected later in the season, or if you like a lighter maple syrup, you go for it earlier in the season. Now I'm just mixing it up. Now the apple part we're going to put in after we bake it. It's dehydrated apples, so I actually have a dehydrator, so this is something that I did in advance, and I did it last week, and I didn't make the granola last week, but anyways, they kept in the fridge. So you're going to need some dehydrated apple for that. Okay, once you got it all mixed up, okay, there we go, it's all nicely mixed. Now we're going to put it in on our pans. Now, I use 2 cookie sheets when I'm doing this because the idea is that you want to spread it out as thinly as possible so it bakes as, I guess, as evenly as possible. You don't have clumps of, you know, the parts on the outside which didn't get cooked as much as the parts on the inside or whatever. Okay. Okay. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Sorry. Okay, this isn't working. Okay, so my oven's up to 350 now, so I'm going to put it in the oven. And after about 15 minutes, I'm going to open it up. And the key with this, which is something that I forget, is that you have to remember to keep stirring it every so often, or else it will burn. And even though it might not look burnt, it'll probably taste burnt, and I don't like eating burnt cereal in the morning. So just remember that when your timer goes off, you should really go and check it. All right, so this is what it looks like right now. We're going to put it in the oven, and I'll see you in 15. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes now. I decided to check it after 10. Let's take a look. And you can see down here where it was a bit thinner, and thinner meaning there was less layers of the granola to the pan. You can see how it's getting totally brown in there, but then up in here where there's more material, it's not as brown. So that's what we want to keep it moving for, so that it's not always the same. And I'm doing this over, just didn't want to burn my countertop, so just going to gently move it around. Now I suspect after another 10 minutes we'll be good. It'll be done. There we go. Okay, same here. Along the edges, it's starting to burn a bit. We're on the middle. It's not quite done. And you can tell when I shook it with the other pan, what's still moist and what's not cooked enough will clump together. The parts that have cooked and are a bit more dried out, they're the parts that'll move freely on the pan. So I'm just going to spread this out as evenly as possible. I'm going to probably check it another 5 minutes because, again, I don't want to burn it. Alright, another 5 minutes have gone by, so we're up to 15 minutes in total. I'm just going to move it around again. Now, it's overall looking goldener, much browner, not burnt, which is, again, how I usually screw this up. And it's all moving freely when I'm shaking it, which is ideal. This pan, it seems to be cooking it a lot faster, so I'm going to say that this pan is done. It just has to do with the, I don't know, conductivity, the kind of pan it is. It's going to be a little bit different, but I'm going to say that this sucker's done. Now, whew, that's hot. So we can see how nice and brown it is. Lovely. Now I'm going to wait for this to cool, and then once it cools, I'm going to put in my my dried apple bits. Now this has actually turned out to be only half a cup, and that was 1 apple. So the next time when I dehydrate, and if you're going to be doing your own dehydrating, I'd probably do 2 apples. It was just a, you know, a medium-sized apple. So once it's cooled, then I can mix in my my dried fruit, and of course with this you can do a lot of things, like keep your mind open. You can use shelled hemp seeds if you want to try something like that. You can try dried apricots, any kinds of different dried fruits. It's all wide open. This is the main premise is that you have the rolled oats, you have some kind of sugar, and I use the maple syrup, you have some kind of oil, and I use the safflower oil, and then you put in your extras, and the extras is what's making it healthy. So be it whatever kind of nut you want to use, whatever kind of dried fruit you want to use, and it's that easy.